Hello, this is Hamid, and in this session, I'm gonna teach you how to set up the SSL VPN in Fortigate devices. So, as you can see here, we have two ports in the Fortigate, and this port is already set as a local port with the IP address of 192.168.1.1, and the port 2 is 172.20.120.123 is our outside port, and the Kali outside the port is connected to show that we have a traffic from the outside to inside. And here we have already set the router and the SSH in the router. So the goal of this lab is to run SSL VPN, and through this Kali outside we want to reach the router through the SSL VPN. And our firewall management is here, and we manage the firewall from the Kali Linux on port 1. So what I'm gonna do, I go to our Kali Linux in management firewall. The step 1 for creating SSL VPN is to create a group, and our group here we can create a group easily. I call it SSL VPN and dash for the SSH, because I'm creating a kind of group for SSH, and then I create a user for this group, and I create a new local user. The username, I set it as my name, and the password, I set the password for this username, set the email address, some basic email address, that's not the real email address. Next, and then I assign my user to the group, the SSL VPN SSH-SSH, and then I submit this group. So let me fix that one. Yeah, I submit that, and now we have this name and this name. So this one is this username, Hamid Reza, is my username that I assigned to SSL VPN-SSH. The next step is going to VPN, and here we have a SSL VPN setting and the SSL VPN portal. First of all, you set the SSL VPN portal. I can use the default one or create a new one, so I use the default one. To edit the default, you can use the name. My VPN is okay. Disable the tunnel mode and enable the web mode, because here we're just using the web mode. You can set the portal message here, SSL VPN SSH, and I want to get the green theme for that one. You can use a different bookmark here. You can set the bookmark, but first of all I go to my router and I check the IP address in the router. So I have already set the SSH, so show IP interface brief. It will give me the IP address of the router in Fast Ethernet 01. So the IP address is 112. So I come back to Kali management, and for the router I enter the IP address such as this one. That's a kind of bookmark. It means that we can reach to the router through the SSH with this IP address, I can show you that we have different protocols. Let's say if you have RDP, you can set the RDP. If you have FTP, you can set the FTP. But in my case, I have just SSH and set the SSH here. And the host is gonna be my IP address and the router name. And what else we have here? You can set that the download method, it can be direct or SSL VPN proxy. In my case, I select the direct and enable for the client download. You can enable or disable, but I leave it as a default and click on OK. So now I have my SSL VPN portal profile. Let's go for the next step, and the next step is going to be setting. And in setting, we have some configuration here. First of all, the listen on the interface, because now I am listening on this interface port 2. So here the outside or port 2 is gonna be my listening port, and I can change the port here, but by default is 443 HTTPS, so I leave it as a default. And you can, if you have a HTTP, you can redirect the HTTP to SSL VPN. It means that every time users use HTTP 172.20.120.123, it goes to HTTPS. You can limit the access to this portal for the specific host. You can here set the specific host, or you can say that okay, any host can reach to my portal, so I leave it as any host. And you can set the idle time certificate. I set the certificate as a Fortinet factory. That's a HTTPS certificate, like here you can see for the portal. And what else we have? We have kind of setting for the client, and you can set that okay, this specific IP address is assigned to client, or you can say automatically assign the address. So I select that the automatically assign addresses, so this range of IP address is assigned to user. You can set the DNS if you have a DNS, and here is really important that let me show you that how we can delete the previous one, and I add it again. Here you should create a user group, and our user group is gonna be SSL VPN-SSH, and my portal is my VPN, so I assign that. And all other user group is you can set the 2 portals, and for one of them is for SSL VPN-SSH. For the other user, you can set another portal. So in my case, I set all user as a my VPN portal, and then select apply. It says that this one is using the built-in certificate, so I okay that. Now I have the, if I go to this Kali outside, so and enter this IP address, I forgot one step. Actually, you should set the policy here, and the next step is setting policy. And let me set the policy, because we should say traffic from the outside. I call it portal SSH, and my incoming interface is SSL VPN. and my outgoing interface is uh, port 1, so my local port, and the source is all, and this user group as SSL VPN-SSH. So you select the source as all and SSL VPN-SSH, and the destination should be all, and the service is always here. For this scenario, you can set just the SSH or set it as all. And what else we have? NAT is enabled. If you want to have this security profile, you can enable the security profile here, but I'll leave it as a default. Okay, and now I have a security profile from the outside to my portal. So I go to Kali Linux outside, and so I come to Firefox and enter the IP address 172.21.21.23, and I receive this login page. And in the login page, I enter the username and the password, so I can connect to my bookmark. And here, as you can see, that in my bookmark I have the router, and if I click here, automatically I can connect to the router. Because I have set the username password for the router, I enter the username password, and now I am in, and the IP address of a router is 112. Fair enough. So I hope this has been informative, and thank you for watching.